How's it going out there, everybody? Welcome to another Addicted podcast. I know it's been a while, but I think we say that at just about every single time we start these. So, you know what? I think that's just how we just intro our podcast now. Just, hey, I know it's been a while, but here we are. You know, we've been doing a lot of fishing, been doing a lot of other projects. We've been gallivanting off in Michigan and Alaska, filming Addicted Alaska 3, the Return of the King. So we got some other stuff going on, but we figure we'd get back here in the studio tonight because we've got a couple very special guests. They like to grace us with their presence once a year, but they should actually get in here more. But we've got legends in the industry, legendary baits and scents, Mr. Procure themselves. So we got Mr. Jason Hambley and Steve Lynch in today to talk about some of the ins and outs on the Procure and what we got coming down the pipe as far as some new products and some new stuff coming down hopefully this year. Yeah. And also just to kind of rehash some of the really cool baits and scents you guys that are already out right now. So why don't you guys introduce yourself? Let us know how long you've been working there at the old Procure and what you guys do.
Yeah, well, I'm Steve Lynch, and I've been with Procure since 2001. We started in 1984, so I've been in 2001 through present. So probably another
20-year anniversary.
Yeah, probably another 5 years, and then I'll go do something different. Who knows?
Go do something, as in retire and fish a lot?
Oh, probably more, yeah.
more than you fish now?
Yes.
A lot of product testing in that old Procure line, huh?
Yeah, I do a lot of talking. Jason gets to fish a lot more than I do.
Oh.
So I do the talking, he does the actually playing.
Gotcha. Well, not bad.
It's a rough life.
Not bad for Jason.
Yeah.
What about you, Mr. Hambley?
Oh, I've been there since 2015. I've been in the industry since 97, but Procure's been a good, easy transition, and it's been an awesome company to work for. And Steve and Phil are just both fantastic guys to work with, and it's been a good deal.
There's a lot of history down there.
Oh yeah, yep. A lot of guys fishing and just spending a lot of time on the water, and they know their products, and it worked out well. So.
Well, knowing how fishy you two guys are, and knowing like some of the products that have come out in the last like 20 years, it's a no-brainer. You know why Procure? You know, all the products are awesome. I mean, I use them a ton in my guide service. I mean, obviously we've been a partner with you guys for 6 years, at least 6 years before you.
Right about the time I started, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
and
right
you were
about the time,
I've been dealing with you guys since day one, basically.
Yeah, dude, we greatly appreciate that. Yeah. And like I said, we couldn't think of any other bait and scent guys because you guys put a lot of success down and we'll have a lot of successful products that we use in our guide services and what we sell online and stuff like that with you guys, and it's really killer. But let's talk about we're sitting here. It's mid-July. I mean, what's everyone talking about right now? How much herring brine, Procure, brine and bite have you sent out the doors in the last month?
Truckloads.
Yeah, a lot.
Pallets and pallets. Every distributor and large dealer, I mean, their orders are probably up at least 200% over the same time last year. I mean, so it is a ton of products going out the door.
The whole tackle industry is just upside down right now. It's insane.
We've been preaching it for so long, even like on the last live feeds, and we've had JT from Short Bus Flashers in, and he's talking about how he's going to run out of product and stuff like that. But for you guys, I mean, you guys are running all that fresh bait. I mean, you guys are probably running at capacity, but is there even like bait shortages? What's the story right now?
Knock on wood, we're not out of any bait with the exception of single salmon eggs for our jarred single salmon eggs. I mean, we have crawfish, herring, tuna. We found it. And bought up on it, and we have off-site storage premises, so knock on wood, we've been fortunate that we've been able to find it. A lot of times we're going in after the fact, so paying a higher price for it. I mean, those are the days I wish we were just pumping perfume into wax. It's going to be super easy.
Right.
But when you go need 40,000 pounds of crawfish and no one's pulling crawfish traps, it kind of makes it tough.
Well, and then they're all going to the grocery stores and stuff like that too, right?
Correct.
So you say there's a shortage of single salmon eggs. My guess is a lot of the offshore or overseas egg markets and
that is taken off huge. It's caviar and just things like that. They're buying it all up, and the price has just gone astronomical on it. So. Yeah,
single salmon egg, is that a lot of chum, or do you do all species with that?
I would do any species I get my hand on, but right now it's about $17 a pound for single.
Oh my gosh!
Salmon eggs.
So when you're making some little batches of Winter Chrome Blend, cherish those bottles out there, guys. Yep. Cherish those bottles.
Correct. Yep.
Well, we buy a couple 100,000 pounds of cure and crush eggs that are not A or B grade, that we're just curing for our crab and shrimp attractant, or that goes in our butt juice. But here again, a few years ago, where we were 10,000 pounds, I mean, it's just stupid. I think this last year was over 130,000 pounds of just junk eggs, not rancid, but just not attractive. They wouldn't be good enough for you to cure and use them as fishing, but just to cure them and then crush them and grind them up. And that goes in our crab attractant, which is huge because that's a heavy oil, so it keeps on the bay floor. So if you're marinating chicken or what, shad or whatever, the scent is just not floating to the top. It travels out on the bay floor.
I think everyone's kind of seen that. Like when you rinse out a jar of eggs in your mason jar, you see like the white milky stuff settles to the bottom. And so maybe that's why that stuff works so good.
Sure.
Yep.
I didn't even know that. It's crazy.
Yep.
But 100,000 pounds of
Pallets
eggs.
and pallets of it.
Pallets. It's from Alaska, from
Anywhere I can.
anywhere you can get them.
A lot of times it's Alaska, though.
Yeah, I like to try to deal with cold storage units in Washington, Oregon, or California because then I'm not paying freight from Alaska to here. So I try to work it out to where maybe it did originate in Alaska, but it's sitting in Bellingham or
Just so you can easily, quickly get your hands
Correct.
on it. Well, what about other fish? I mean, what about herring and sardines? Like I said, we're talking, there was herring shortages across the board, for our bait stuff, for our bait quality stuff. But
not for our style. Just a cure, the 40-pound block, where they're monster size. So guys just were chunking them up for halibut or bottom fishing. There was no shortage of that. So we had no issues with the herring. Actually, I think it's one of our cheaper years.
Yeah.
For the herring, for buying the big block. But I mean, shoot, they're 3 pounds, right?
You couldn't do anything with them. You'd have to thaw out a whole giant block of them.
well, no, we don't want to do anything with them because that's why you guys make those beautiful little bottles of the 4-ounce and the 12-ounce bottles
Sure.
of the,
Yep,
of
exactly.
the herring. Well, that's why we don't have to do anything with them because you guys do.
Yep.
No, that's exactly. What about the egg curing? What about egg cure stuff? I mean, how are we sitting on that? I mean, I'm hoping you brought some samples today. I'm hoping you brought some good stuff today because we are getting to that part to where these guys in the stores, we say it every year, don't be the guy that shows up and catches a nice salmon and brings it home and goes, oh, I didn't get any of my Pro Cure Red Hot Double stuff or my Fuse Cure, and then go to the store and expect it to be sitting on the shelf, especially this day and age.
Right. Yeah. No, we're sitting pretty good on most of the products. It's just the biggest thing is we're just trying to keep inventory levels up and trying to keep up with the demand. So, but right now we're sitting pretty good on most everything.
Give it a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're still sitting here before the opener of the old Bowie 10.
But we've been doing six days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day. Except for when it's extremely hot. We were shutting down between noon and 1. Other than that, for the last few months, they've been 6 days a week, and they're happy to do it. But if we weren't doing that, and we're still 3 weeks backed up on orders. But if we weren't doing that, we would be 10, 12 weeks backed up on orders.
Oh, I guess with all the product you guys probably ship off to Alaska and stuff too. I mean, those guys
Everywhere.
have been running crazy now for almost 2 months.
It's all across the world, globe for that matter. We're sending a ton of stuff overseas right now too. It's
What's
just
your most
crazy busy.
popular products you send overseas?
Shrimp, gel. Well, they a lot of them do their own private label stuff, but it's shrimp and inshore saltwater, mullet, sardine.
All East Coast stuff, or Spain, or where?
Well, it's
A
going
lot to Australia.
Australia, New
New Zealand.
Russia,
Yeah.
Germany. It just,
All the above.
a lot of the shore fishing in Australia.
yes.
We got to do Addicted Alaska or Addicted Australia.
So they can't,
That'd be good.
Alaska, Australia. That makes no sense.
yeah, because they can't leave their country. If they leave their country, when they come home, they've got to be quarantined, not at the choosing of their choosing. They're grabbed at the airport, and at their expense, they're put up for 2 weeks. So none of those folks are coming to ICAST this year. But the good news for the distributors back there, they're staying home and fishing. So they're selling products to their guys where they're normally coming to the U.S. to fish. So their sales are way up because people are staying home or in their respective country and fishing there.
I guess another effect of the good old good old COVID. Jeez.
That's global. Yeah, it's been crazy everywhere. It's nuts
You sell a bunch of stuff to Canada in that respect too,
Oh, yes.
because of that.
Yeah.
everywhere.
Not that a lot of those guys probably come here much, but we want to go to Canada. But at the same
Canada's-
time, they locked it up.
yes.
So
You know what's funny though, is you say that I got friends that live in Vancouver or inland there, and most of those guys want to come down here to fish. It's funny. Everybody wants to go where they're not.
yeah,
Sure.
everyone enjoys their backyard, but at the
Yeah.
same time,
They-
the reason why we all go running around everywhere we do.
So go do something different.
That's wild. What about new products? Is there anything cool or crazy you can tell
The
us?
only
Or is it
thing-
just kind of buckle down and grind right now.
The only thing new we came out with this year is we came out with the orange kokanee cure. We've done the Wizard Kokanee Corn Magic for a long time, and we have it in a pink, we have it in a natural, and now we have it in an orange, fluorescent orange. And that was a lot of guys in Central Washington were barking for it, so we did it, and that's taken off pretty good.
I was going to ask if that orange was a California thing or like a southern
Central
It's
Washington.
a Central Washington thing.
Yep.
But yeah, like you said, we can't
So what
keep
you're
up.
saying is better try some orange cameras.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yep.
We can't keep up with the orders we have, so I just couldn't justify throwing 10 new items into the mix
Right.
when I can produce on a regular basis stuff that we're currently stocking.
That's too bad because Marla and I were talking a couple days ago and we had some ideas for some of the bait wax stuff that we really would love to see.
Okay?
So, but it might involve some of those some of that stuff that's going to be hard to get.
Sure.
right now. Gotcha. What are you guys getting ready for? What are you doing for Bowie 10?
As far as
Product testing.
nothing.
Slash.
We're pretty
Well, I know
much
your boss is right here, but
most
come on.
most of the fall we're probably going to be down on the water ourselves a lot. So we'll be out there using the products.
Yeah. Everybody hears about, at least in one of your local hovering haunts,
Yeah.
about you using those products up there. And
Oh
whatnot.
yeah. That up there is just a big test of it. I mean, you're changing baits, changing scents, changing everything all the time, and that's and it makes a world of difference.
When you talk about products and these guys' egg cures and scents and stuff, guys, like Jason probably participates in for those that don't know, probably participates in one of the more heavily competitive hover fisheries, is what we'll call it, where there's basically hundreds of fish sitting under your boat and you're right by other boats. But for some reason, out of all the fish caught, 80% of them get caught by two boats.
Yeah.
Everybody else
A lot
catches
of-
their fare.
A lot of times it works that way.
That's right. Any tips, on some of these fisheries coming up that you'd like to maybe share with these guys as far as?
The biggest thing is it's what I've seen time and time again is a lot of times in the mornings it seems like when the water's cooler is use something with an anise base, and as it warms up use something with a garlic base, and another thing too is just boat control, keeping your lines perfectly perpendicular. That's critical.
So you can sense the bite.
Not only that, it's kind of like bobber fishing.
Yeah.
If you're floating, if you're bobber fishing down a river and you're moving your bobber a lot, or your bobber's at a cocked angle, you don't seem to get bit that much. But when your bobber's floating perfectly perpendicular, a lot of times that's when that thing buries. Same theory.
Is it you're getting bit that much, or you're not seeing them?
Yeah, it could be both.
I'll bring this up because it's such a good thing to touch on. We had a really good Springer fishery going on a couple of years back, and on a very, very good bobber hole, and I threw a camera on it. I cast it out one time and was using some Procure Fuse, of course, and then of course some shrimp scent, little sand shrimp on it, the good stuff, and threw it out in the hole. First bobber through, I had a bite and I missed it. Second cast through, and keep in mind, these are fully recorded on one of those cameras.
Yeah.
Second cast through, bobber didn't do anything. Third cast through, the bobber wiggled at the top, and I thought about setting the hook, but he dropped it, and then it went down a little bit further and then buried.
Yeah.
I set the hook and got him. Went back home and I looked at that camera, and I had no less than 12 or 13 bites from salmon in those 3 casts on those holes hovering through there, because the bobber kind of swirls around, moves around, that leader kicks around, and those fish were coming up and inhaling the bait, smashing it and kicking it out.
Yeah.
And I was never even seeing it it's 20 feet deep, but you never seen it. So staying perpendicular, staying tight to your bait, definitely an awesome good tip for up there.
Oh yeah. Yep. It seems to help, that's for sure.
A lot of these guys are going to be catching fish here the next couple weeks. What about tips for egg cure? And let's talk about the process, maybe with you guys on what do you think is the best method from, I caught a fish and it's a hen and I've got some good eggs. Now what? What are you guys' recommendations?
First thing is just bleed your fish. If anything, it's good for the bait and the fish itself. It just gets that blood out of there and slows down the process of everything breaking down and getting funky. Next thing is just when you go to cure them, is just with a paper towel, kind of get as much of the blood, and with a spoon or whatever it takes to get as much blood out of them as you can. After that, always butterfly your skeins. I don't care how small or big they are. Expose the inside. Just cut where the membrane is not around the eggs. Expose the inside and just get a good even cure on them, a dusting of cure. And then just depending on the cure, it's different process for every one of them.
You got the Terry Seamster's, Last Supper, and you got Magic, or not Magic, but Wizard Cure, Magic Cure, Wizard Cure Red Hot Fuse.
Yep. Every one of them's kind of got a different process, but Probably the most drawn out, timely process one is the Last Supper. It takes a little longer, and it's a little
3-day process.
Yeah. And really, the fuse is kind of a 3-day process if you want to do it right. It takes a little bit. The biggest thing is just kind of let those eggs reabsorb all that juice. And
Yep.
Don't get too antsy with them.
Yep.
Well, how firm are you a believer on getting like every last? I know your answer, but I want people to hear like every last speck of blood out of the eggs.
It's important. I mean, but I don't do every last speck. I'll go through, like he said, I'll bleed them, pat them with a paper towel, and I'll go through if there's big areas of it. And as long as I'm wearing gloves, I'll remove them from it as fast as possible. And I won't put them right directly on the ice. I'll use a piece of cardboard. I'll put them in a baggie, but I'll have a barrier between the eggs and the ice because you can get them too gelled. And
Yeah, it seems like when you throw them right on the ice, like they'll turn like a kind of that darker orange color.
You
And you
gel
can tell
them up.
they've changed. So you
gel them up. You seal them. They will not cure as well. They just won't take the cure. I mean, they'll still cure up, and yes, you'll probably get a few fish. But the main thing, you want them cold, but you don't need them ice cold. And so when guys just dump them right on ice, it's like, ooh,
Don't do it.
yes.
And then as far as all the blood, I mean, you don't have to. Like Steve said, it's just a little bit's okay, but avoid the big clumps of it.
Yeah,
Or
the
if you
big,
gotta-
the big veins. in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Gotcha.
But what a lot of guys will do, they'll go to Alaska or whatever, they'll freeze their eggs. They won't take any care or think about it. They put them in Ziploc baggies, they freeze them. And I had a call today. The guy said, all right, I've got about 8 pounds of eggs, and going through this whole story, and it's like, ooh. Because the moisture in that egg, if it's unprotected, it will rupture or expands when it freezes. And then when you thaw it, it's become very, very fragile. So in just moving them around to cure
You're talking the shell of the egg itself.
correct, yes. You're going to destroy anywhere from 30 to 60% of the eggs, so they're just going to rupture due to the moisture in it. Now, if you can take them to a fish processing plant and have them wear a blast freezer or a flash freezer, they'll put it on a plate and they'll charge you a couple bucks, but they'll do 10 pounds of eggs for you in about under a minute. I mean, it instantly freezes them. It withdraws, it removes the color from the egg, but now you can keep it frozen, get it home, and then thaw them in your cooler and put cure to them. So almost every town there, anywhere that has a fish processing place, should have a fish, whether it's a flash freezer, a blast freezer. It's just a quick freeze. Not just throw it in a big chest freezer. That doesn't do it.
Yeah. Or do yourself a favor and just make sure, like I was talking about earlier in the podcast, to bring cure with you.
Yes.
Yeah, bring cure with
If
you.
you can cure the eggs as soon as possible, that is the best thing in the world you can do.
Yeah.
Because they break down fast.
Well, I mean, I think one of you guys mentioned to us last year. It was like every minute that fish has been dead is another minute that those eggs potentially
clock's
could start
ticking.
the clock ticking. Right.
Yeah. It's just like the same as meat. I mean, if you leave your salmon, the longer you let it sit, and especially if it's not nice and cold, it breaks down and it softens up, and it's just not good. Time's not the best thing for product.
Yeah. No, I mean, I try to bring jars and then eggs, with me even when I'm just down at the coast, and instead of loading the fridge up, trying to cure that process as you get and try to make the best product for fishing later.
Yeah.
Because you don't ever want to have that in the back of your head, like,
Are these eggs bad?
Are these good?
Yeah.
Are these
It's
good?
horrible.
One of the things I always ask my clients, it's like, oh, you want the eggs? Because we have plenty of eggs. I don't generally need to be like the egg whore and try to steal all the eggs from guys. You want the eggs? Oh, yeah, I'll take them. I always ask them, like, what are you doing with them? Oh, my brother's coming in like 3 days, and I'm going to... No. These are going to be cured within like 12 hours of me handing you this bag, or else don't even...
Yeah.
That's right.
I say don't even waste your time, because you never know what they're going to do. Put them in their car, drive 3 hours, forget about them. Don't
Normally
waste
that's
them.
the case.
Right.
And then they get home and they go, oh, yeah. And then they stick them in the freezer and then they thaw them out and then they're
Yeah.
just a pile of mush.
Right. And then they try to cure them, and then they're just pure goo.
Yep.
Pure goo.
Yes.
Any other tips for these guys here before we take off?
For the hover fishing, the only other thing that I pack is a small bottle of sodium sulfite. And I load up the eggs up. I'll cut like 4 or 5 bite-sized pieces, and I will load them up with sodium sulfite. The further upstream you get, it just turns into a hotter egg. But when you're dropping that down, the smoke trail coming off that, it's just phenomenal.
Always pack a little bit with you.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, right on, guys. Well, I think we need to get into the other studio here to do a live feed for everybody. We're going to be doing some Buoy 10 bait and herring prep, or we got some herring and anchovies over there. We're going to talk a little bit more about eggs and stuff. So thank you guys for coming in. And for the rest of you guys out there, be sure to give this, if you're on the YouTube channel, be sure to give this a thumbs up and like and all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys next time.